subscribe for daily exclusive fanfiction, and comment your desired scenarios for our next thrilling tale. Join Moaning Myrtle as she unveils secrets of love, betrayal, and redemption in a world of magic and mystery. In the dim light of the abandoned girls' bathroom, the air was thick with a mixture of loneliness and longing. Moaning Myrtle floated above the cracked tiles, her translucent figure shimmering in the shadows. Days blurred into nights as she replayed memories of her life at Hogwarts, yearning to reclaim the lost moments that had shaped her fate. But it was only through her diary, tucked away in a hidden niche, that her voice could truly resound. As she opened the time-worn pages, the scent of aged parchment filled the air, mingling with the subtle hint of lavender lingering from her teenage years. Words tumbled forth, revealing the passion, the heartache, and the forbidden love that had once set her heart ablaze. Myrtle's spirit danced among the letters, each recounting her youthful desires and dreams. Among them, a name stood out to a boy whose laughter had echoed in the hallways, stirring something deep within her. With each entry, memories washed over her like waves crashing upon the shore. She could almost feel the warmth of the sun as it streamed through the windows, illuminating the laughter shared with her friends. Yet within the warmth was the cold grip of unrequited love that held her captive. How she crashed into the reality of her feelings, the shame and despair swirling within her, until it overwhelmed her very essence. But the diary not only spoke of the past, it whispered secrets that could change the future. Myrtle stumbled upon a passage about a dark power hidden within the pages themselves. Intrigued and terrified, she felt the prickling sensation of danger rise. With a burgeoning resolve, she decided she could not let this knowledge remain dormant. The echoes of her tragedy demanded action. Just as she contemplated her next steps, a fleeting shadow crossed her line of sight. It was a first-year student, lost and curious, who ventured into her realm. The connection sparked a flicker of hope in Myrtle's heart. What if this young soul could be the link she needed to bridge her past with the dizzying present? And as their eyes met, an unspoken understanding flickered between them. In that moment, Myrtle knew she was not entirely alone. The unearthly pain of her past began to intertwine with the potential of a new beginning. With every whispered confession, she would guide this student through the mysteries enfolded within her diary, paving the way for reconciliation and growth, not just for herself, but the world she had watched over for so long. The stage was set, secrets would be unveiled, and the adventure was just beginning. As the first rays of morning light peeked through the dusty windows, illuminating the girls' bathrooms faded tiles, Myrtle felt a renewed sense of purpose. She drifted absent-mindedly, the whispers of her diary still echoing in her heart. The discovery of that young first-year student brought an unexpected surge of hope. Could he be the key to unraveling the threads of her past and weaving them into something new? With newfound determination, Myrtle summoned her courage and focused on the boy. He returned to the bathroom, the shadows still surrounding him as if he were a creature of the night. His name was Oliver, a curious soul with a penchant for wandering the hallways of Hogwarts. As he approached, Myrtle sensed a strange connection, a tether binding their fates together. Oliver held the diary tightly, a mixture of reverence and fear painted across his face. "I can feel its power, but there's something more, something personal, isn't there?" he asked, his voice trembling with the weight of the words. Myrtle nodded slightly, her form shimmering in the dim light. "You can't just read it. You have to understand the heartache and hope captured within those pages. They hold my story, my pain, but they also hold the promise of something greater, the ability to change our fates." The air crackled with tension as Oliver absorbed her words. The intimacy of the moment stirred emotions within her that she thought were long extinguished. With passionate resolve, he asked, "How can I help you?" Myrtle felt a wave of warmth rush through her. This boy was offering more than assistance. He was extending his heart, a gesture she hadn't felt in years. "You must be willing to venture into the depths of this diary, to uncover its secrets. But be warned, not every truth discovered will be light." As they delved into the pages together, the room filled with an electric tension. Memories unfolded, revealing not just her past love, but dark forces lurking in the shadows. With every turn of the page, they became intertwined in a dance of desires, fears, and hopes that transcended their circumstances. Myrtle's spirit swirled with anticipation and anxiety. Would they be able to avoid the pitfalls of the unraveling romance, the dark legacy threatening to consume them? They stood at the precipice of discovery, bound by the ties of destiny, love, and the challenge that lay ahead. Together, they were determined to face the darkness, their fates forever linked, forging bonds through the whispers of the past that would lead them toward an uncertain, yet thrilling future. The air was thick with tension as Myrtle and Oliver stood at the edge of the forbidden chamber, the diary clutched tightly between them. Their hearts raced in sync, sensing that they were on the brink of something monumental. With the flickering torchlight casting deep shadows against the stone walls, the secrets within the diary beckoned them forward, promising revelations that could alter their lives forever. Myrtle really had never felt such a surge of emotion. There was something about Oliver's presencia comfort and warmth she had rarely experienced in her afterlife. A surge of longing coursed through her as she felt the bond between them strengthen with every heartbeat. "Are you ready for this?" she asked, her voice barely above a whisper, carrying both excitement and fear. Oliver looked into her eyes, a vulnerability reflected in his gaze that stirred something profound within Myrtle. "Together, right," he replied, determination lacing his words. The way he spoke ignited sparks of hope in her heart, slowly dissolving her lingering doubts. It was time to confront the shadows of their past with an insight that could lead to redemption. As they turned the pages of the diary, a vivid portrait of forbidden love began to unfold. Myrtle's youthful heart raced as she experienced the passionate encounters she had written about, painted with raw emotion and undisguised yearning. She could almost feel the warmth of his touch, the intoxicating thrill of hidden romance that had bloomed within the walls of Hogwarts, yet simultaneously ignited her past sorrows. Thoughts of the new antagonist loomed over them. Despair and darkness threatened to crack through the delicate threads of their newfound connection. "We must be careful," Myrtle warned, her voice trembling with urgency. "If he finds out about the diary and what it holds, everything we care for is at stake." Oliver stepped closer, becoming a beacon of support against her rising fears. "Then we will guard it together. I won't let anyone hurt you or Hogwarts. We'll be stronger than he thinks." In that moment, as their hands brushed against each other, electricity surged between them, awakening emotions that lay dormant for so long. Myrtle realized that this connection was not just a guard against darkness. It was a flame of hope illuminating her path. Together, they would bind the past with the present, confronting the shadows while embracing what lay ahead. A decisive clarity washed over Myrtle. This journey was no longer just about her. It was about forging relationships that could withstand the tests of time and trials. In that instant, she vowed to protect Oliver and Hogwarts not just as a haunting spirit, but as someone who had finally found her heart again, willing to embrace the unknown with courage